run or spray them simply with water hoses. Captains also, Robin, can speed up or zigzag in the water to throw the pirates off their trail.
It all seems so low-tech, like you said.
But if it works.
Yeah, Richard, thank you. Looking at the morning papers now, people trying to buy foreclosed homes may face big hurdles with the banks. The Washington Post reports that banks are overwhelmed by the record foreclosure volume, and people may face long delays to close on foreclosed homes. It is Easter, California style. This LA Times photo shows a man after his baptism at the beach. More than 300 worshipers on beach chairs and blankets attended yesterday's sunrise service. From the New York Times, a woman is getting paid $80,000 to stay home from work for a year. A New York law firm was offering associates 1/3 of their regular base salary to miss work for a year. Well, the woman plans to travel and teach English to monks in Sri Lanka. Employees who take that deal are immune to possible layoffs. So how would you feel about staying at home for a year but getting 1/3 of your pay? I mean, would you do that? What would you do for a year? An anonymous viewer text message. I would love to stay home and volunteer, but 1/3 of my salary won't even cover my rent and car payments, so I can't afford to do it. Another viewer text message. I would. You could always learn to live on less, and you cannot put a price on the few precious times that you get to spend with family and friends. Text your comments to HLN TV. That's 45688. Keyword is Robin. I can see Jennifer itching to get in on this. Go ahead.
I wonder if you're allowed to moonlight. I mean, I know that she's going to teach monks in Tibet, and that's great, but what if you could get 1/3 of your salary and then just do a little bit of odd jobs here
like
and
work at
there?
an amusement park or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to find the answer to that. Knock, knock, knock. Back to reality now for the rest of us. April 15th is 2 days away. You want to talk about harsh reality. What do you do if you cannot pay your taxes? Our money expert, Jennifer Westhoven, says that you can be late, but you have to be powerfully late. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, and I just mean, you know, like sometimes at school you don't know the answer, but just this is a case where you still have to raise your hand. Raise your hand to the IRS and say, I'm late. You can't just duck out of this one. You can file for an extension on the internet. It's pretty easy, but the worst thing to do is the most human one, right? Which is to pretend that you'll get it done and procrastinate. Then the clock starts running when it comes to penalties and interest, and they can end up being more than your tax bill. So you really want to go to the IRS, tell them you know you're late, and if you're going to owe money, just give them something. It's a sign of good faith that you are going to pay your taxes. You're not going to be a deadbeat on this. Now, earlier, Robin, we've been talking a little bit about how the IRS is going to have a press conference later today, the kindler, gentler IRS. They're basically saying, though, look, we get it. We know that people are having a tough time right now. They're giving their officers more power to work out flexible payment plans. Another thing to think about is your credit card. Use this only if you can pay it off, because if you can't, it's better to owe to the IRS. They only charge about 4%. And a little more money for Bernie Madoff victims. A pair of tickets for today's Mets home opener that were owned by the Ponzi schemer sold for $7,500 on eBay. The face value was about $500, so that's a tidy profit for victims of the Ponzi scum. Isn't that funny? It says the Ponzi scheme. That's how the New York tabloid put it. They are behind the Mets dugout, access to home plate.
$7,500. It better come with all you can eat for that much money.
Yeah, and it all goes
someone
to the
to rub my
victims
back. All right. Hey, thank you. You know what? You asked whether you can have a moonlighting job. The article, anyway, that we got about the offer to stay home and work for a year. Well, no, you stay home from work and you get paid 1/3 of your salary. The article that we got it from did not mention that you couldn't have a moonlighting job.
All right.
So, there you go. You could always be a dancer. All right, a cameraman has filed a complaint with police after he says that he was attacked by Woody Harrelson. And you won't believe what the actor has to say about what he calls mistaken identity.
Remember the anticipation of hearing the ice cream truck? In Poland, Cargill borrowed the idea for something quite different. Small Polish farms had difficulty getting affordable feed for their smaller herds of animals. So Cargill created a way to bring the feed directly to them.